Hey, Mortgage Coach leaders, not just Mortgage Coach community. This is Dave Savage, CEO of Mortgage Coach. I am interviewing Brian Koss, head of production for Mortgage Network, based out of Boston. How you doing, Brian?
I'm doing great, Dave. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us. So, I have known Brian for a long time, dating back. I think your tenure at Countrywide was when we first met up. How
That
many
was
years ago
actually
was
North
that?
America, back to North American Mortgage back in '97. I can remember, getting turned on to Mortgage Coach, and it was a life changer for me
Yeah.
as a,
Well,
yeah, as a producer and as a manager.
yeah, and I think one thing that's special is while you're head of production for a large group of loan officers now, you were a top producer. You ran a team back in the day where I can't remember like how much business did you close as a team and
We were
your production?
we were consistent. My region, we were at a $2 billion region at North American, and we had retail, wholesale, and it was I did 100 million as a producer, so and did it for quite a few years. So it was, and I couldn't have done it, without my team, helping me utilizing all the Foley tools. And back then, what you would come up with was a real game changer for me because it helped me work with more passive sources of business so that I didn't have to, I got more out of the same people. That was the key.
Yeah, well, today, under your leadership, you guys are a great partner of Mortgage Coach. You've got a lot of loan officers using Mortgage Coach. And the reason I asked Brian to do this interview is he reached out to me a couple days ago and said, Dave, 2018, we really need to level up. I don't want to put word in your mind, but level up how loan officers are using technology.
Yes.
I think you said something effective. I really like your YouTube channel and all the interviews that you do.
Yes.
You called out the interview I did with Garth Graham while you were in our suite
Right.
at Sales Mastery,
Yes.
and you said, "Hey, I'm gonna be creating content and training my sales force. What advice do you have?" So first of all, why don't you set that up in your words, and then let's you and I have a conversation that would be useful to a branch manager, a head of production, a regional leader, anyone that's trying to get loan officers to use technology. Let's try to have a conversation that would be helpful.
Sure. What the genesis of this was the idea that some of the best ideas, as we know, being ADD sales guys, happen in moments of brilliance. And when they do, you want to record them, you want to capture them, and you want to share them. And instead, what happens, we go, that's really good, and write it down, and then say, we're going to do that. Wait, I have to wait for everything to be perfect, and then the moment passes, and we're on to the next thing. So one of my commitments for 2018 was I wanted to go out to our 40 branches, and we have same way you do your calls with all the great sales leaders in the country that you speak with, that I want to do that inside my own company as well. And we do that on our regular Wednesday sales calls, but I like to do it in person, and to be able to record that with confidence in the field, so I can share those best practices and inspire others.
Yeah, well, I love it. Well, I have been getting that question asked a lot by leaders that are saying, "Hey, I love the Mortgage Coach content. My loan officers are great, but I need to create content myself." I mean, we have other goals, whether it's rolling out new CRMs, whether it's rolling out
Right.
new tech, and we
Hmm.
we need to train our sales force. And so, I mean, the first thing I'd say, it's not just how to do things, it's why to do things. And one thing I've noticed, Brian, is that lots of loan officers, until they hear from people that they trust and respect, they don't necessarily take action. And so that's another great reason to do videos.
Absolutely, and that's why when we share them internally, when you post the different YouTube videos, the way they fire around here in the company, someone, did you see this? Did you see that? Jeff Gable, our coach, does the same thing, and that's what we want to continue to create content that shows the best practices and also who we are. I mean, I think what's better than video to be able to show who you really are and differentiate yourself.
Love it. Well, hey, I'm going to start answering some of the questions that you asked me earlier. I mean, right now we are recording this in Skype. So we're on a Skype call, a piece of software that I think is, I don't know, it's 20 bucks. It's called like Ecamm. I'll actually look it up while we're talking. I actually wrote a blog post. So you're watching this. I'm going to put a link below to the software we use to record this, Ecamm. Uh, It works great. I mean, whatever camera you have on your computer or your mobile phone. I've recorded Skype interviews like this with a mobile phone, where you are on a mobile. At Mortgage Coach, we record a lot of these in GoToMeeting, and we're seeing more and more coaches and more leaders using Zoom. So when you're doing it like this, those are some great tools. And by the way, if you're watching this and you're a branch manager and you're creating content and you want to share some of the tools you're using or some of the tech, put it below. Let us know what you're doing. Now, Brian, when you reached out, you said I'm going to be doing it in person. So I just want to picture this. You're going to be going out to the branch. You're going to be identifying like what top producer in the branch where you want to
Correct.
record something that is, walk me through that, and then I'll share some ideas.
Yeah, so the idea being that if we'd be able to pull them aside into a conference room, and I've seen them, there's something that they've really attached, some niche that they've picked up, or the fact that they're, the way that they're utilizing total cost analysis, and maybe freed up a relationship that was inside of a regular call that might have happened during an annual review. And say, what did you do? How did you do that? Well, I uncovered this great financial planner because I was probing using this. Great. Would you show this to me? So I'd love to be able to have the video occur in person, but also then to share that screenshot of what they're doing as well.
Yeah. So just to make a point of just how easy this can be, I'm grabbing into my backpack a tripod. Boom, set that up. Could take a minute or two. Now, I have found that the sound is pretty good with my iPhone, but just because I want to take it to the next level, I have got an exterior mic. So, just so everybody can take a look at that. You can plug in this extra mic into your phone. Now, this is, I think, a pretty expensive one. We wanted to have the highest caliber. But, one of the things I've learned, I've got these tripods all over. In fact, in my office, I have this set up so that I can actually plug a phone into it, record it. If anybody has watched some of the interviews I've done with Kristen Messerly, almost every single one of those was putting this on a window, putting a mobile phone on that, and Kristen and I standing in a hallway having a conversation. So, again, it's that easy. It really is not that difficult. Any questions on that, Brian? By the way, did we cut out?
It just froze. The screen froze for a second.
All right. Well, let's keep it rolling, because I think that's the other point is authenticity is more important than professionalism. So we could have had like a film crew, got this perfect. And by the way, we could scratch this whole thing right now. Oh, we had a little glitch. Let's can this. No, that's not what people want. They just want two people having an authentic conversation. As long as I can see your eyes, so I can see your eyes, as long as the sound is not distractingly bad. Like if it was distractingly bad, that's content that we probably shouldn't use. But I can keep going, but I really do think it's that simple.
That all those little pieces of how you do it, but also the why part of losing. How many times have you been intimidated and saying, all I'm trying to do is show you me being me, right? And as a leader, you want to show people this is who we are. This is who we are as a culture. This is who we are as a company. But also inspiring others using the technology, saying it's good enough to get out there. You can always make it better, but good enough is that it got done, and means get it going. And now it acts as the next bench level to get to the next level, right? So now you're like, okay, that's good. I can improve on that, but you can't improve on never doing it.
Absolutely. Now, one more thought, because I think the tech and the tools are important. We want to have lighting that's not distracting, sound that's not distracting. I want to be able to see your eyes. But then I think who you're interviewing matters. There are loan officers that I interview that are they're between their energy, their authenticity. Right. They really move the needle. So I think who you're interviewing matters. And then I have a pretty simple prep process. Even before I got into this call, with, what do I want people to think? What do I want people to feel? And what do I want people to do? And in this particular conversation, I want leaders like yourself to go, I need to create content with my loan officers, and it's super easy. So I want them to actually go out and create videos. Um, Hopefully, I couldn't have planned the screw up that we had, like the little
Yeah.
technology issue, but I
Right.
wanted them to feel like it doesn't need to be perfect to create something compelling. And then hopefully, I want them to feel like they could trust me and they could trust you, that what we're bringing to the market is sincere and valuable. So I do recommend, when you create content, be very intentional about who are you interviewing. Is this the right person to create the goals that I have?
Hmm.
And what do I want people to think, feel, and do as a
Right.
result? So that's a thought to spend 5, 15 minutes, just go, okay, sitting down with John and Branch, whatever, what do I want people to do after they watch this? What do I want people to think and feel? So that's another, again, it's not right. It's just part of my process.
And for anytime seeing someone who's out of their comfort zone, taking a chance and to make themselves feel silly, foolish, whatever, and say and just put themselves out there, I think encourages anyone else to do the same, whatever part of that there is. So that's part of your the way you use your CRM, where you use more, it's Mortgage Coach, whatever it might be, taking a chance in technology and they're trying to get. There are a lot of people fighting it, still fighting it today, and they're going to get left behind because you can find who you are through technology. People seem to think it's disintermediating them, but I think it's a way to actually enhance, get the world to see who you really are, utilizing all these tools.
Absolutely, especially video. I mean, you are amplifying your voice. I mean, if we get more than, and let's face it, we're going to get more than 20 people who watch this video.
Right.
That's 20 people that we were able to amplify.
Right.
You had a question, I had some answers, we're having a conversation, and hopefully a result of that will be more leaders creating video content to level up their sales force. So one last thing, because I want to try to also, one of my goals was build the why. Like, why do heads of production need to level up their sales force leveraging technology? I mean, what are your thoughts on the why there?
We talk about the comfort level, and if we aren't pushing and creating that new muscle memory for folks, they're just going to drown backwards. So for me, I'd much rather get more out of our existing people, right? This is my existing team members, and coaching up brand new ones. Like, we do a lot of training with new people to the industry. If I can get them to embrace that which we have put a lot of time and energy, we have our own LOS, our own system, our own organic technology. Obviously, we believe in it, but we've integrated it with Mortgage Coach, right? I mean, we've integrated it with our CRM, because we believe if you just do these things in a basic time blocked basis, you'll move the needle without even trying. People give up. They get intimidated by technology. And if we can show as leaders how to do it ourselves, I think it just leads the way.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, I interviewed a loan officer, John Downs, out of the Annapolis market. You might even know
Yep.
John.
Sure.
I'm actually going to put a link to that interview below, because we just had this conversation. I mean, really, today I'm interviewing you. I interviewed John a couple hours ago, and the story was different because he's only been using Mortgage Coach now for 60 days. And I asked him, by the way, he had bought it and never used it. There's multiple times where he never used it. And I asked him, okay, why did you start using it this time? How much time did it take you to create the new habit? And I was shocked. I mean, he said, I can't remember if he said 2 hours or 3 hours, but his total startup time was 2 to 3 hours,
Yeah.
10 TCAs, and now it's game changing for him. So I hope everyone who's watching this, you will go think of, who am I going to interview,
Hmm.
and what would the conversation be that would move the needle with the people that I serve. If you're a branch manager, it's your branch. If you're a region, it's your region. If you're a head of production, go interview one of your top producers in a way that serves your goals. And please share it with me, share it with Brian. We want to see what you're doing. And if you do have questions, I'm going to You can either post it in YouTube below. Probably going to post this on Facebook and LinkedIn. Like it, share it, and we look forward to seeing your videos.
Awesome. Thanks, Dave.
Hey, thanks for all you do, Brian. Appreciate it, brother.